Mr. Chair, the financial review of the Justice Department proceeded without great moment this year, and really I have to say that's been the measure of the Justice Select Committee throughout this year. It's been a non-contentious committee. There haven't been a lot of headlines to come out of it. As I think Chester Burrows, the chairman, has said, members from all parties have worked on the whole collegially and cooperatively, and I think that probably has something to do, Mr. Chair, with the fact that really what you are seeing is a government that's implementing its election promises here, law and order, justice issues, our promises in that area, arguably alongside the economy and pledges to make a difference there, were the single biggest things upon which the National Party and John Key were elected on. And so I really want to say it's been a good, a non-contentious review process we've had here. And together with the Law and Order Select Committee, this committee has put through a power of a large volume of legislation. My recollection is, off the top of my head, about 11 substantial pieces of law in the last year. That's not to say that it's been some sort of supermarket conveyor belt where we've just been pushing them through. In fact, again, as Chester Burrows has said, I think there's been a lot of thought put in by the committee, a huge amount of deliberation, and of course a large amount of work by the justice officials who have done an excellent job. I think as Rahui Kartane said, particularly in that 100-day period at the start of the government where they had a huge amount to do, and they did it with aplomb. I don't want to go through all the pieces of legislation that have impacted in this area, but I do just want to single out one. And my view, I suppose, as an ex-criminal lawyer and practitioner, is that it, along with one before the Law and Order Select Committee, the Proceeds of Crime legislation, will have the single most impact and will really have a large effect for the good of victims, ultimately creating less victims in our society. And the law I'm talking about is one, again, Chester Burrows talked about, and that's the DNA legislation. What did I say? Was it bad English? Oh, thank you. Less victims, and that's fewer victims. That's a product of the school I went to. Chris Carter was my English teacher. That may have had something to do with it, I don't know. But
that's the problem.
This will create fewer victims. Let's get that right. And, you know, it will do that in a couple of ways. Firstly, more criminals will be convicted. And it will do that because there will be more DNA on that database. But also of importance is the fact that actually, if you take, for example, the David Doherty case, and everyone will remember that. I think it was DNA traced on his underpants that, despite being in prison for some time, saw him vindicated, saw him cleared for a rape. And so you will see not only the guilty convicted, but the innocent acquitted, and in his case going free after some time wrongfully behind bars. So I think this is a powerful piece of legislation that will make a large difference, as I say, along with the Proceeds of Crime one piece of legislation where I see already in only 2 or 3 month period has seen many millions taken in ill-gotten gains from criminals for actually only a small number of wealthy thugs. Look, the justice officials, as I've said, are doing a great job for our Select Committee and for Justice. If there's a golden thread that runs through everything we have done and that the Law and Order Select Committee also has done, I think it is victims. I think it is getting a better deal for victims so that they see justice in the process, but also there are ultimately less victims of crime.
The question is that the report on the Justice Electoral Committee on the 2008-09 financial year of the Ministry of Justice be noted. Those of that opinion will say aye, contrary no, the ayes have it. I understand that the next financial review members wish to debate is the financial review of the Ministry of Health.